Hello and welcome to MotorCult episode 52. I'm Erik Berger, joined as always by my co-host Ryan Sinitsky. Hello.
Hello there.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Good. Hey, you're wearing a Laguna Seca shirt too.
I am. Nice. It's like we were both there at some point this year.
Weird.
We're actually starting, I guess my fault, like 38 minutes late because when you showed up, I was putting a different computer in my E30M3 to try to get it to behave, and it made it worse.
Yes, much worse.
Much worse.
Much worse.
So-
Actually, I think once we're done doing this, since we're having some time before the next episode, I'm gonna run to work and grab a van again, and we'll have a drag race.
To a drag race. See which it was that bad. I mean, I think the car had like 60 horsepower. You think it was a little
I
bit more,
think
but
maybe about 85, 90. It felt like a Vanagon.
I gotcha.
That's full tilt acceleration on Vanagon that you just felt. But
Either
it made
way.
a much better noise.
It was in a different sort of limp mode before, and it was making still 300 plus, so this is definitely worse.
Yes, in every way.
Yes.
So,
But anyway, I guess that is neither here nor there. I'd say let's just jump into beer first. We still do the segment where we're drinking the same stuff we drink every week
it's
now. You've got a Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest.
I've got a Minnesota Gold Lager.
How did you choose your beer? I chose this one because this was the most abundant one I found.
This was the one that fits the can koozie the best.
There you go. Perfect.
that
That's
was
how
my-
you choose a beer.
Yes, that
All
is
right.
my
I'm going to open up my
methodology,
beer.
so.
I guess we can crank up that gain.
That sounds delicious.
It sounds like keys.
I already opened and have started consuming mine, so I guess I won't be doing that.
Actually, I'm not going to lie. I usually don't like Sam Adams, so this is a pretty good beer.
And that one's really great if you say you come home and you don't have beer
Yeah.
in your
that's
fridge.
That's a great beer.
You put that in for 5 minutes, and it gets a little bit cool. Still pretty good.
Yeah.
That's one of the few beers where it stays smooth enough where you don't have to drink it ice cold.
Yep. They did a good job on that one.
Agreed. So let's talk right into the first topic here. I want to talk about cars that don't sell in the United States. I mean, cars that are on sale here, yes, but don't sell.
But don't sell well. Yes.
Right. So I'm actually going to open up this link here and turn on.
There's some cars. I looked at this link already just on my own time.
Yep.
And I looked at it and I was thinking, wait, these are still for sale?
Right. Well, I mean, things like the first car on the list is the new Lincoln Continental. Hasn't been for sale that long, so of course it's still for sale. But they don't sell because Lincoln, which I mean, it has an honorary slogan as far as we're concerned of Lincoln, nothing to see here.
Yeah, basically. They're the Continental. I think the issue with Lincoln, it's not the Continental like as a car. It's a perfectly fine car.
Yeah, I actually even like how it looks, and I like the weird door handles and stuff.
That's kind of cool. But the thing is Lincoln, they've got 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the luxury car market. You can't base, it's not 2001 anymore. You cannot base a luxury car off of Ford Fusion, whatever they base this off of.
That's actually, I believe, has its own platform, but it looks like it's based on a Fusion.
Yeah, that's the issue. It's it's completely indiscernible. In a lot of luxury cars, and this is a big disconnect between American luxury and literally any other luxury.
Mm-hmm.
American luxury cars have no racing pedigree.
That's pretty much true.
But if you think of the thing is all these other brands, Mercedes, they've got their AMG brand. But the thing is, even when they didn't do much racing, when they were out of racing, they had still earned their chops in motorsports.
Yeah.
And same thing with BMW, but they've always been racing. And Audi, as much as I dislike Audi as a brand, they're still, you cannot argue with what the UR Quattro did and how they shut down IMSA. They did quite a bit. Lincoln, on the other hand, I think they might have won a NASCAR title once or something.
Well, I mean, it's not a racing company, though, and it's designed to be a luxury marque, and it used to have a lot of cachet.
Well, that's the thing, is they're thinking of how do we reinvent these companies? And Cadillac's doing much better than Lincoln. Cadillac, not that great, but at the same time, if you're going to be spending $60,000 on a car...
And Lincoln's doing a lot better now than they were 5-6 years ago. I mean, they were almost dead.
Now they're still in ICU, but...
Yeah, but they have, the MKC, their CUV, that sells fairly well. And, they do have a flagship, again, that's actually not based on anything else. So they're doing better. I mean, it's a far cry from, the Lincoln Blackwood and the old Expedition-based Navigator back in the late 90s.
Well, the thing is, then, they weren't doing great, but you still had every rapper in the world in 2001 rolling in a Navigator.
Right. Yeah, I mean... You have a point.
You did have that, but now when you see a Lincoln, you go, oh, it's a really old guy or mid-level manager. You don't think of somebody important.
Right.
Whereas when you see a BMW, you go, oh, this is either a really cool car enthusiast or somebody important. But that's the thing. That's
I guess. I just assume it's going to be like a 20-something Indian kid, but
I mean, I guess. But
which I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But
the
I mean,
thing
that's
is,
just who has most of like the M cars.
yeah, but I mean, that's kind of what I'm talking about, though, is like you still get this. You don't have that old man effect, and
Right.
that's why I think that if Lincoln did something with motorsports,
Yeah.
anything at all, that would help them a lot, because what they have is an image problem. It's not
Sure.
a quality problem. I mean,
Well,
to a lesser extent, it's not a quality problem, but it's really an image problem. I couldn't say it's a quality problem because I haven't seen any to
it's
break.
probably fine. I mean, I'm sure they have the same dual clutch Ford transmission issue as every Ford product has in like the MKC and whatever their MK thing is that is an actual Fusion.
That's the other thing, is
Z,
they're-
I think they're naming.
They're also doing the Infinity thing.
I know.
The Infinity thing is just
But they out
infuriating to me.
Infinity to Infinity because
Yeah.
Infinity you can kind of figure it out. If it says QX, you know it's going to be an SUV or CUV.
Yeah.
And like the lower the number, the smaller the things. Like you can get pretty close and try to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
Like MKZ, MKC, like it means
MKX,
nothing. Right.
and yeah, there's just a bunch of random letters, and I think that's kind of their large issue.
It
And
is, and it's going to take them a long time to get out of that, but they're getting there.
what they do is they name their cars the same way that Korean K-pop bands are named. They just have
Oh,
a
man.
random homologation of letters.
Amalgamation.
Amalgamation. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Of
That'd
letters.
be cool if it was homologation.
And then all those random letters are made so it will mean the same thing in every part of the world.
Right.
Like,
and that's why they do it. They're
And that's
globally
yeah.
trademarkable.
yeah, and well, that's also why K-pop bands do it. So like BYS means BYS in Korea. It also means BYS in Russia and in Mexico. It means that in every language.
What does BYS mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's just it might even mean nothing.
We'll just assume it means nothing then.
Yeah.
Because who knows?
No, let's actually go through this
Yep.
list. This
So,
is
the
from
first one I mentioned-
Consumer Reports. We should note that.
Yeah, I don't really like them typically.
Yeah,
but
they're
whatever.
usually terrible.
So the first one was the Lincoln Continental. We talked on that. Second one is the Buick Cascada, which I believe is the first Chinese-made Buick import. Or no,
Yeah.
that's the Envision. Sorry, that's the Envision. The Cascada, I think, is an Opel.
Yeah, I think this was on the last Opals that they chassis that they made, but
Yeah.
it was not that good. So sales 2018 are 413 in August.
Yeah.
To date, they're 3,100,
Yeah,
3,161
total.
total.
Since it started brought here, yeah.
By comparison, a Ford Mustang is 1,100 or 11,500.
Not just the Ford Mustang, but the Ford Mustang convertible.
Yeah,
I'd like to see if that includes fleet numbers
yeah,
for rental cars.
I'm sure it does. But I mean, that's the thing. This is kind of what gets me about Consumer Reports is they call this comparable to a Mustang, which is really weird to me because the Mustang's a rear-wheel drive sports car. A Buick Cascada is a convertible
Front-wheel drive
car.
bathtub.
Yeah.
And it reminds me a lot of like a way worse version of an SC, a second-gen SC.
Lexus
Because those,
SC.
because those were rear-wheel drive.
Those are rear-wheel drive. They're also V8. They're better, much better in every way. This one, I mean, it also that goes to racing pedigree. The SC actually did have an extensive racing pedigree.
Really?
Oh yeah, no,
The
Toyota.
second gen?
Yeah, Toyota. That's why I had a V8.
Oh,
Yeah, they campaigned it in Super GT racing, Japanese touring car, and it did very well.
I mean, I kind of believe that if you took all the weight out of it,
And that's
it would
exactly what
probably
they
be
did.
fine.
They took all the weight out of it. It was a really slippery body design.
Yeah.
So it
That's
did
not an
quite
attractive
well.
car.
No, it's horribly ugly, but it worked. So
Also, the back seats. If we ever have a worst back seats episode, that's going to be a strong contender, followed by the Mini Cooper convertible.
I think the Mercedes 190 is gonna be up there too, just because that is a 4-door.
They're
and-
comfortable, but they have no legroom.
But that's the thing, is that's a reasonable back seat for a 2+2, but this is a 4-door. So
I think the E30 sedan has less legroom than a 190 sedan.
really,
Yeah.
does it have the hard back to the seat though?
Yeah.
Oh really? Wow, that's awful.
Yep.
Well, let's go down this list because this is
Alrighty.
another one. This one actually genuinely shocked me. I thought Ford discontinued this.
No. This is the only like car-based thing they didn't discontinue, except for the Mustang.
How? Why? What is the logic of that?
I don't know. They don't sell particularly well.
I would be really shocked if the Ford Fiesta sold less
Fewer units, yeah.
than this. Yeah, fewer units than this.
The C-Max, I mean, I'm assuming this includes all trim levels. So, like the
It must.
C-Max plug-in, the
It has
energy.
to, yeah.
I mean, they get fairly good highway fuel economy, and they are very practical, so I get it.
I guess the one thing I like about the C-Max being continued this long is I drive a Mazda 5, and I know that for another 10 years after they discontinue parts of my van, I'll still be able to get mechanical parts off the C-Max because this uses the same suspension, everything
That's
as
kinda
my
funny.
van. So, but the thing is like, it's just, I don't know. I've never seen a C-Max and gone, that's kind of cool. Like at any point in my
Yeah.
life, like even when they were new, I'm like, that's odd.
I mean, when I went to Europe in 2009, like the most abundant segment of vehicle I saw was the lifted hatchback, like the stretch hatchback. Like there's a Golf version.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of like Opel and Vauxhall versions. I'm
That'd be equivalent to like a Crosstrek, right?
right.
Yeah.
Except it's lower to the ground because it maintains like the focus ground clearance like a C-Max does. So it's a little more practical inside. It's almost closer to like a Rendezvous or an Aztec, honestly, but just
Yeah.
way less shit looking. Sorry, poop looking.
Yes.
I was doing so poorly on the last episode, and now
today
I'm
we were doing
continuing
great,
it just right
and
on.
then, yeah.
Oops. Anyhow, so that segment, it's what the CUV is here, and I would much rather have the world full of.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking
C-Maxes.
if you're looking at an Escape or C-Max, get a C-Max. I mean, it's better in every way.
Yeah, it holds way more, way better fuel economy, probably better to drive. You can get a plug-in hybrid
They're
version of this
honestly
thing.
not terrible. It's just
No.
that the thing is it's what all American cars do. They get a really solid like B minus,
Yeah,
and that's fine.
it's a
bec-
participation trophy.
Yeah, like you get your C minus or your B minus, which is fine because you do have cars that are worse.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
But the thing is, who wants to get a B minus so we can get a car that's got an A? Like, why would you buy this when you could buy? Oh God, what even competes with that? I guess
So why would you buy this over some other segment product? is what you're
anything
saying?
else in that that we have available in America. I guess like a Forester maybe. Like, 'cause
Yeah,
honestly, that
I think your XV is probably a closer.
yeah, like I would buy
right
an
now.
XV before I buy this because
Me too.
yeah, and then
But I mean, that's technically a CUV.
technically,
But you
but
can lower it, and then it's fine.
yeah, but I mean, like, still that's the thing is like this is. It doesn't really have any competition, so in America we lump it in with weird shit.
No, Kia makes something.
No, they made something the Rondo.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, when this first came out was when they were discontinuing the Rondo.
Ah.
Also, if we do a thing about garbage technology, let's talk about Kia Rondo headlights cost being a normal H7 bulb, but with an adapter on it, so they cost $32 a bulb.
Great. What is you can't bypass the adapter?
Nope.
Can't save it off the old bulb?
Nope. Unless you can like cut the little piece of solder on it, which is
Really?
usually something you're not about to do in an
No.
AutoZone parking lot.
No, God, no. I mean, the glass on those things, I mean, if you touch the glass with your oils, you got to rub it with denatured alcohol and a lint-free cloth, otherwise it'll blow up.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
I was just putting HIDs in the Fiat today because I had a headlight bulb go out 2 weeks ago.
and you don't want to deal with it again. Yeah.
Right,
Makes
that,
sense.
and it was cheaper because that car runs 9012 bulbs, which are 9006s. But they call them 9012s. And you know what the difference is? The backside of the bulb where the electrical connector is, it's slightly lower profile.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, so it was like $30 for a bulb at like an O'Reilly, and I bought a Chinese HID kit for $25.
Next time I have an issue with my headlights on my van, I'm gonna go LED. Plus,
If you have enough space in the back part of the headlight housing
yeah,
to have the heat sink,
yeah, and I
Then,
can
yeah.
if I don't put on that little plastic cover, I totally do.
okay. So I mean, you might have to worry about moisture if you don't have the cover on.
That's a good
Because
point.
mine, I had to cut a hole in the cover, and then it came with that little rubber boot thing that the wires go through.
Yeah.
So it actually looks pretty decent. But anyway, I like LED a lot. I don't know if the technology is quite there for the brightness output on car
They're-
headlight bulbs.
They're pretty decent. I mean, plus this is also a projector, so you can put a candle on the backside of it, and it'll
True.
work just as well as a normal headlight.
That's what I love
So-
about the Fiat. It's a bi-xenon headlight enclosure from the factory, except it's got a halogen bulb in it.
That's such a weird
So it's a
Fiat.
bi-halogen, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's got
that's such
one
a-
bulb for high and low.
That's such a weird Fiat thing to do.
But I'm really excited. I don't have to drive around with my fog lights on all the time now.
That's good. You mean your LED light strip? That's horribly blinding.
No, the driving lights. The
Oh, I like
two
the,
little.
I like the little fog lights. I always have my fog lights on, except I do have.
Yeah, but they take power. See.
I've got Oh, good point. Well, get some LEDs, homie.
No,
Doesn't
it's
take
fine.
any power. It's
I
literally
was
a
gonna
diode.
I was gonna get like JDM fog color, like you.
Oh, yeah, like mine,
But
yeah.
what I ended up doing is just getting those for the headlights.
Oh,
Because you
so-
can see so much better at night with 3000K bulbs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, so you got yellow headlights now?
Yep.
Oh, cool. So it's like even more French.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Oui, oui.
I'm actually really excited to see that. I can't wait.
It's pretty rad.
But no, on my van, one of the things that bothers me about LEDs
Yeah.
is when it's below 40 degrees, I have one headlight at a time that flickers until they get up to temperature.
Really?
It's such a weird thing. It's such a weird thing. They have like anti-flicker kits. I've just been like too frugal. Spent $11 on it.
I wonder electronically what's going on there.
Well, so and you know, like when you have a LED, like an old school LED, like or one of those old like energy saving bulbs, and you put a dimmer on it.
Oh, yeah.
it'll flicker.
Even these. If
Yeah,
you dim 'em.
that's what it does.
So it's insufficient voltage then.
Yeah.
But how? I mean, those things have to be designed with a voltage tolerance range that's bigger than like 11 to 14.
That's what you would
volts.
think. So that's why you get that's why you get the anti-flicker kits, because it's just basically a little.
It's got to be a capacitor, right?
Yeah, they just put a capacitor in line. I think it's because like when it's like cold outside and you first turn on, you have everything cranked up and your alternator is like constantly charging up the battery. So
Right.
it does.
I could see that. Yeah.
I think that's what the issue is, because it doesn't happen in summer when I don't have like anything on. When I just
Yeah.
turn my car on, like in summer, it's fine. So and once the car warms up, like if I leave my fog lights off until I'm like on the highway and I turn them on, they're usually fine. So it's a
you're-
really weird thing.
Okay. Well, I mean, at least you got it down to a science. I mean,
Yeah, I do. And
right.
it's also really nice because if I want to be a dick, I can just flick my fog lights twice and it'll make them flicker. So if like I'm like shining my high beams at somebody to be a dick, I have a whole other world. Where I just like click my fog lights twice and they start flickering, and then like I can just land my horn with my flickering fog lights, and my high beams on, and my middle finger out the window.
Wow, I just used one light bar. That's
I have a whole system. I've got various levels
we
of how
gotta put an air
irritating.
horn in your car now.
I want one. I want to get a train horn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put one in the Subaru because it has all the provisions for the
Spare tire.
No, not for spare. Yeah, I mean that's where the horn will go,
Yeah.
but it also has an air pump underneath it for the active suspension that I took
Yep,
out because it doesn't work ever.
No way. Okay.
Yeah, shocking. So yeah, no, you can actually run like an air pump and have like a really good train horn in my Subaru. So once I do my carburetor setup on that, I'll put a train horn in it. Anyway, yeah, let's talk about the other car that didn't sell well.
Well, I mean, I'm surprised not all Jaguars are on this list, but the Jaguar XJ.
I clicked on this. I just expected to be just everything except for
Right.
the I-Pace.
Because like, when was the last time you saw an XE or an XF or,
I mean, one that's not like a
or an F Pace?
not one with like a salvage title in Northwest Minneapolis, like owned by somebody that has special financing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only people I ever see driving it.
Oh my God, I want to talk about the Dodge Journey again. Man, that
Image
thing is
problems.
so special. I like Jag. I don't really know. I think the reason why they don't sell is just because people do read Consumer Reports and they
think-
realize that the reliability factor of a JLR product is not great.
I think the other thing is a lot of this luxury car market has really been taken over by Tesla.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a point. But I mean,
Like Tesla's kind of the bull in the china shop here. Where they did
Why-
not expect that.
why do you think Jaguar is paying so much more handsomely than like Audi, Mercedes,
I think
BMW?
I honestly think that Jaguar is already at the bottom,
Okay.
and a lot of their stuff that they had, the Tesla had provided.
I guess. But luckily, the I-Pace is going to eat Tesla's lunch. So
Uh,
they'll get most of that
That'd be
back.
cool if it. That would be cool if it would.
It's at a way lower price point than the Model X, and it's way better looking.
I want Tesla to succeed really badly.
I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, I will
But I
buy
think-
a
I
Model
think-
3 or something at some point.
I
but
think healthy competition's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like CUVs, but like the I-Pace, I think if you slammed that thing, it would turn into a wagon, which would be cool.
Yeah. Well, the I-Pace is a good competitor to the Tesla X-Type. Or
Model X,
Model X,
yes.
whatever you call it.
Yes, but as I was just saying, it's much cheaper than the Model X and isn't disgusting looking.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what it's gonna take. I do
Yeah.
like the gullwing doors. I'm gonna say that.
yeah, but the proportions of the Model X are like
Oh,
the
it's
most
awful.
awkward.
Awful. I think if they put those gullwing doors on the new Tesla Roadster, I'd be really about it.
Falcon doors, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing is, if you want a car that retains its value, gullwing doors
Funny you should say that because the SLS doesn't hold its value very well.
currently.
And Model X's don't particularly hold their value very well.
Currently.
Okay. I was saying you can pick up a Model X for like 45
However,
grand.
the the 300 SL.
Those hold their value really well.
Extremely well.
But I think that's because of the homologation and like the body shape more than it is the
and
doors.
then we're not going to talk about DeLorean. Okay, so maybe most cars of like the 5 cars in the world.
What
that
about
ever
like a
had
Bricklin SV1?
Okay, so actually those ones do hold up. They're about as much as
If you can find a nice one.
if you manage to find one, you're paid about as much for a Bricklin SV1 as you would for a DeLorean. Like maybe a little bit
A
less.
Bricklin's definitely a better car than a DeLorean.
Yeah, but the DeLorean's more iconic.
Yeah, and it's probably going to last longer.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And plus,
The
you actually
Bricklin
have
was a small block V8, so it actually ran.
but it overheated on the early ones
Of
because
course,
they
that's
didn't
a
have.
Pantera.
Yeah.
They put like 15 centimeter thick radiators in it. Like, yeah, that's probably fine.
Yeah, and then they gave you like an opening. Literally, I think the opening on the original SV1 was like 8 inches by 3 inches.
You're talking like the grill in the front?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the radiator didn't do shit.
Oh, I don't know if you've seen a 70s electric fan, but they're not exactly good. They're like those like 3-blade things with like 90% open space. And
Yes,
they didn't
I know what
spin
you're
very
talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like when I picked up the Pantera from my uncle a couple weeks ago, the guy had all the original parts for the cooling system in a box, and I looked through it.
It was
and,
just awful.
Yeah, it's got like Spall curb blade fans on it now, so they work and they
Yeah.
draw less power and everything. But these were like they were like 6 inches thick, and it looked like an old desk fan with like a really badly stamped housing around it. I'm like, this would not have done anything.
Why do I have this feeling that it literally was just that?
It probably was a desk fan that like De Tomaso just like bolted some erector set to and just threw it on a Pantera.
That I imagine Di Tommaso just sitting at his desk with just a stack of erector sets and a stack of desk fans
It's a prototyping department.
and like a hammer and a soldering iron and just going to work.
We will make a car.
Exactly.
And the funny part is about the Pantera, there's a lot of funny stuff about it, but every part number on the car is a Ford part number, so you can
Yeah.
still buy parts for it
well,
brand new.
You know, they sold them at
Lincoln Mercury
Yeah,
dealers.
Lincoln Mercury.
Yeah.
Also, Lincoln, get your stuff together.
Yeah, and
Bring-
sell Panteras again.
Yeah, sell Panteras.
New
They'll bring-
Panteras.
Well, it's going back to Lincoln. I think their issue is they don't the only thing that brings people into the dealership. I think that's what
brings
it is.
them in?
Well, they don't have anything exciting.
Right. So what brings them into the dealership?
Something like a Pantera, like
No,
in all honesty, or like a cool electric car these days might do it.
Yeah, but I'm saying of their current offerings.
Yeah. Oh
Nothing.
God, nothing at
Nothing.
all. There's not like
Lincoln.
I'm sure.
Nothing to see here.
I think that they're perfectly just a fine brand, but again, it goes back to that thing: why have a B- and get an A?
Right. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm gonna go buy a Lincoln Continental and not buy an Audi A7
Yeah.
or a 6 Series Grand Coupe.
Honestly, the A7 is a reasonable.
If you get the 3.0T, it's fine.
In any of them, because
The
if you look
4.0T
at
is okay.
if you compare apples to apples and you're not thinking of historically how the car brand has been horrifically unreliable, the Audi would be a perfect competitor
Or a
to
6 Series Grand Coupe
which is the correct answer.
because it's gorgeous.
But if you compare a Lincoln to an Audi, you're gonna take the Audi every day long.
Oh, of course.
Every day.
I don't even like Audis, and I would just not even
And
a
the thing is,
question.
nobody's even go to the Lincoln dealership because they're gonna go, "Oh, Audi makes cool race cars."
Well, I honestly don't think anyone that's buying either of those two types of cars is even remotely aware of racing
No, they
pedigree.
actually are.
I don't know. I
every
know
single-
a couple A7 owners here and S7 owners here.
Every single person that comes into my shop, they know that that the Audi TDI racing team was like winning at Le Mans for
Oh, yeah.
like the last decade.
I
So
found
they
some
all
old
know
auto show
that.
posters in my parents' basement when I was cleaning out.
Oh yeah,
So rad.
yeah. See that Lincoln, they don't have anything like that.
I know. Yeah.
Like you have Matthew McConaughey like
Although-
wax poeticking about like a tree.
all right, all right, all right.
Like I don't care about Matthew McConaughey.
Lincoln.
Give me a race car.
But
What's
imagine you had a poster of a 1997 Lincoln Blackwood. You can't say that wouldn't be a cool poster to have.
I actually saw Lincoln Blackwood the other day. I'm like, oh, it's awesome.
Or is it-
Velvet truck bed.
Which one? Okay, so the Blackwood was first, right? And then it
Yeah.
was the Mark LT later.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yep. So the Blackwood, that was the one with the velvet lined trunk or the bed.
Oh, I thought
Was-
it was just wood.
No, it's velvet sides with a wood floor.
Oh
It's
my god.
Not used to be used.
Oh my god.
It's really bad.
We should try to find one of those and buy it.
Yeah, I've seen a couple, and they're like, it's just like some old man that like thinks that his car is worth a lot of money. It's just
I
not.
wonder
It's
what the MSRP was on that thing in 1997.
it was insane. It was like the same as like a base model 7 Series or something. It was just ludicrous. They were way too ahead of the time because
That's true.
they did what car companies are doing with trucks these days.
Right, like
but
it's a luxury car,
20 years
and
ago.
people throw like a stroller in the back sometimes.
Yeah, and they knew that, but the public didn't know that.
They should have had like a factory Lincoln branded tarp option to like throw in the bed when you needed to actually put dirt in it.
Perfect.
Or something.
That sounds
Even more money.
I would buy that.
Step your game up, Lincoln. The key is a parts department.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, Jaguars don't sell. We're not surprised.
Here, one second. Let's just talk about the numbers because 78 sales in August.
Still more than Fiat sells.
Like 78.
Yeah, that's not very many units.
No, it's nothing. 1,141.
2018 to date.
Oh, also another thing, Jaguar, the names that you can't really tell. I did not notice that they had more than one car.
What do you mean?
They have more than one sedan.
Oh yeah, they have the XE, which is the 3 series
XE,
size,
the
the XF, which is
and
the
then the
5 series
XJ.
size, and the XJ is the 7 series size.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I honestly thought they had just one car. It's just like the XJ
XF.
or whatever it was. That's the thing. It's a marketing issue. You can't. All these
Kinda.
cars are the same.
I don't know. I kind of like those.
I just feel like the car companies that sell really well, the BMWs, the Lexuses, the Mercedes, their names you can pay attention. You can figure out. They're not just random
Yeah, but
letters that don't mean
this isn't
anything.
any better than CE and S.
But I mean, still, if you see GS300, IS300, and LX400, you know what those mean.
Only because they've been around long enough for me to know what they mean.
So, but they
3,
still
5,
yeah,
and
that's
7
the thing.
is the company, the industry benchmark because they're numbers. They
Yeah.
go up bigger.
Exactly.
You can tell the difference.
And if you see, there aren't any luxury car manufacturers these days that actually have a name for their cars.
No, that's pretty much out the window just because of global marketing.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of part of the issue here is you don't
Yeah.
have an actual name. Like,
Yeah.
if Jaguar or Lincoln or somebody like came
The
up with
Plymouth Eagle Scout,
well, I guess like the Continental, like is an actual
Yeah.
name,
which is nice
which is good. But okay, why do I want that though?
because it's their only product that's A, uniquely Lincoln, and B, has a name.
Yeah, but you have the BMW 6 Series.
Yeah, I know. We just discovered that we wouldn't buy this car, but still.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. As a customer, I could also just get the BMW 6 Series,
Right.
which is better because racing.
Well, which is better because I don't know if it's not racing. It's just the brand has better notoriety, and I think I don't know if it necessarily it definitely looks better actually.
Oh, well, yeah, it
the
looks
6
a lot
Series
better.
Grand Coupe is one of the most attractive cars on sale today.
I really hate the whatever you call those 4-door coupes.
That's what this is though.
I know I really, really, really hate that, but I think that one actually looks really good as a sedan.
But I like the A7. I think that looks pretty good. Like the Mercedes CLS, that still looks pretty good.
The CLS looks good, yeah. Well, I also
think
I don't like the way they market it because a coupe is 2 doors.
I
Coupe
understand. I
literally
agree,
means
100%.
2
If you
doors.
call that thing a coupe, you need to be stabbed.
Yeah.
Because it's a sedan. It's got 4 doors. You just put a weird roof line on the back to make
Yeah.
it less practical.
It's a sporty sedan, yeah.
Yeah, great, cool.
So
Moving
anyway,
on.
yeah, moving on.
Lincoln Continental. That was our
Yep,
first one
that's
we
what you
did.
mentioned. Oh, well, here.
Our favorite car. Oh, it isn't selling well.
Good.
Yeah, the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, the 5th gen Eclipse to you, Dan Balto.
I saw 2.
Are you
on
kidding me?
Thursday.
I've never seen one of these.
I saw 2 on Thursday. I saw a blue one and a black one. The blue one is brand new, and I made a point to not let him merge
Good.
anywhere near me.
Good.
And then
He has a 1.5 liter engine, so he won't be able to do anything about it.
and then he got to the fast lane, cut him off just to be a dick. So, yeah, that
MotorCult advice: cut off Eclipse crosses
yeah,
as much
just
as you
make
possibly
them
can.
feel bad. But all right, so this is the thing. The black one that I saw was already kind of crappy.
Of course it was. It's a special financing car.
But I mean, like, no, it already was like dirty. Had some scuffs on the bumper. Like this car's like a month old.
Ryan, it's like a Dodge Journey. The people that buy these do not care about cars. They can
Yeah.
just get them.
That's true. Yeah, this one that I cut off, he had like still had his like little yellow tag on it. I just wanted to make sure. Oh, and then I gave him the middle finger too.
Did you also flick your fog light switch?
No,
while
I
you were
didn't.
at
I
it?
just gave him the middle finger because he looked over at me. I just wanted him to feel bad about his purchase.
The
I hope-
guy's just like, what the hell did I do wrong?
I just hope that happens to him every day. Every single person that's ever loved a Mitsubishi in their life just
Yeah.
gives that guy a middle finger.
Oh, dude, yeah, like Eclipse owners.
Oh, God, yeah.
Can you imagine taking one of those to an Eclipse meet?
like in Mitsu meet or like any Mitsubishi meet, you get laughed out of the parking
Oh
lot.
man, if Randy ever gets one of these, we have to go with him to a Mitsubishi.
That would
meet
be
at it.
so funny. This is the worst car in America.
It.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say that. I will
Yeah.
say that of all the cars in America,
Currently for sale.
yeah, every single one's currently for sale. This one is my number one least favorite.
I'm trying to think of something else that's worse, and I'm not having.
There's not
Easy
anything that is not only is poorly made, but poorly designed, poorly marketed, and outright insulting to a car enthusiast is this car.
Yeah, this thing is really terrible. I think you're right. I can't think of anything.
I think the only thing that would be worse is if when Ferrari decides that they're going to make an SUV, that they call it the F40.
Oh my god.
That would be the only thing that would be
What if
worse
they
than
called
this.
the Urus the Countach?
Yeah, or they made the Porsche Macan the 356.
Oh my god.
Like that's literally how bad that is.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
if you-
take your most iconic name and put it on your worst CUV.
Yeah, that's exactly what Mitsubishi did, and I want them to fail now. I don't even want them
Yeah.
to do well.
Yeah.
Because
When this thing was called the Outlander, fine.
well, they still make the Outlander.
Really?
Yeah. So what this is,
This is smaller?
So it is the same price as a full size Outlander, but it's the size of an Outlander Sport. It's a upscale Outlander Sport. That's the issue with it. Like that's what the issue is.
This
with the
vehicle
public.
has no purpose.
No, it doesn't. It's a really
And look,
expensive.
They've
crappy
sold
car.
858. That's actually a lot this month.
Actually, you know what's really funny is they got a 200-day supply of them currently.
Where do they store these things? Like
Like
airfields?
literally, yeah. They have a 200-day supply of these.
How many brand new Mitsubishi Eclipse Crosses in the world right now have dead batteries?
I know, right?
All
Well,
of them.
the thing is, all right. So these are gonna be into inventory at this rate. Like it says down here, like well into 2019. Like
How
well
cheaply
into
will
it.
you be able to get a
So-
brand new 2017 Eclipse Cross for?
Way back in the day,
2019.
way back in the day, when we first graduated high school. I had a job at Luther Mitsubishi in Bloomington.
Yep.
And I remember that still when they had the last generation Galant for sale.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
which we love so much.
yeah. We that's the one that lost. We
were doing the worst
Just
product.
barely lost out to the influenza.
Yep.
As the
Renault
worst
Fluence.
car in the world.
The Fluence was available with I think a diesel and a manual at the same time, which is why
Yeah,
I won.
yeah. That was it. That's why it won. It was the best worst car.
Yeah.
Like so. Actually, yeah. The Galant really is like the worst sedan.
But I would happily take any Galant over this Eclipse.
Oh yeah,
Cross.
I will totally do that. But the thing is, we had Galants sitting in our lot for so long that they were getting paint fade while in storage. So you'd have these black Galants where the driver's side you begin to see the clear coat peel and it's brand new.
Oh my.
Yeah, like that's how long they were sitting in the lot, parked in the sun, not being cared for.
Yeah.
And that's what you get when you run into these 200-day supply problems. That's a big problem.
So
Like,
I want to see. Okay, once they've made all these cars and they I assume at that point when they have that kind of supply, they just cancel production of a car. Or do they just ramp down the factory so much?
I think they ramp down the factory. I think
okay.
they repurpose. They start building other things because usually with a factory is you have,
instead
like
of making Galants, we're gonna make Mitsubishi televisions.
yeah. Well, no, I mean they'll do like 2 or 3 different models. So
Okay.
Where-
okay. So
yeah.
it's one of those production lines where they can make multiple different.
yeah, so
Okay. So they'll
like I think like
reallocate,
BMW like with the X3, I think they also make like a 3 Series or a 2 Series or something.
Yeah,
there.
you're talking about the
Yeah.
South Carolina plant. And they
Yeah.
make everything. I mean, they make the 3 Series, the X1, the X2, the X5.
And so like with the Toyota Numi plant, you would have them be able to make the Corolla.
GT86.
Actually, I think no, that one they only made the Corolla there because it just did so well. But I mean, that's the thing
They
is
make and sell a
when
boatload
you
of
have a
Corollas.
plant,
Yeah.
you make like 2 or 3 things. So yeah, actually, the normal or the Bellevue assembly plant. This is a great example. Chrysler, they made the Dodge Neon there, but they also made the Jeep Liberty at the same time.
Okay,
So if they had to ramp down one of their sales, they can continue the production line.
sure. Okay.
So that's how they would do that. So
I think that's getting more common these days with manufacturers
I
being
guess
able to make
I
multiple
can't think
cars.
of what else Mitsubishi would make on an assembly line for this. Make more Mirages.
Maybe like a Evo 11.
I feel like I don't know. I really would like honestly, if there's anything I do with my life, I would love to have a position on the board of like directors for Mitsubishi because I would just be curious what would happen to them if they started a really hardcore marketing push with the Mirage, made a performance version, and see where that would take them. Because they have nothing to lose at this point.
I understand,
They
but
have
it's
literally
still
nothing to lose.
a segment that isn't currently selling at all because gas is cheap
Yeah.
and nobody currently cares about small cars
Yeah,
at all.
but clearly nobody cares about this either.
Right,
and this
which is
what,
amazing
this
because
is what
CUVs
is
are hot.
That's the hottest car, and that
And
clearly
look,
didn't work.
This article has got the CX-5 year-to-date number,
Yeah, so
and that's not like a great selling CUV. It's a great CUV.
no, that's a very poor selling CUV actually. So
Right, and that sold 107,000 units. This has sold 4,500.
yeah, that's exactly that. And 858 to date in August.
Yeah.
And,
Which I think is actually a pretty good monthly number, but it's
and
a
that's
brand
actually
new car.
I'm curious what the Mirage did in the last month.
If I was a little less
August.
lazy, I'll look it up.
Yeah, because I'm actually really curious about that. Because what I would do if I was Mitsubishi, again, they have got nothing to lose, so there's nothing. Why would you not just do this? Take the Mirage. You're now owned by Nissan. Federalize the Twingo GT engine. Put that in the front of the Mirage, and now you have a hot Mirage.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things.
Any four-cylinder.
It will get people into the dealership.
I have the numbers for you.
Oh, what is it?
So you want August 2018?
Yeah, August 2018 Mirage.
2,048 units.
So that's literally more than double.
Yeah.
So, and that's with the car the segment.
And it's quite old, and you can buy a used one with no issues for like a nickel.
Yeah.
And they're still selling 2,048 brand new ones.
And that's exactly why I'm saying push on the Mirage. Get rid of this.
The Mirage is selling better than it ever has this year.
Yeah. They're actually really not bad cars. Everybody talks crap about the Mirage. It's actually not a bad car. As far as Mitsubishi goes, it's a fine car. And, you've driven one. But I think that if they did a hot Mirage, that would get people into the dealership. Because it's one of those just like weird things. Like when Fiat first came here, we got the Abarth. And that got people.
We didn't the first year, which is why I didn't sell that well.
Yeah, but once the Abarth came out.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is you get the Abarth gets people in the door. It's a loss leader. Maybe not even a loss leader.
Does kind of carry that brand right now.
Yeah, that's really the thing.
And
It's like gets
X.
people in there. And you need something that gets people into the dealership. That's why all these brands, because all these brands that are on here, they don't have anything really exciting going on with the exception of Ford. But yeah, that's kind of what their main issue is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, is there anything else that you would kind of expect to see on this list that you didn't?
You know, I'm more surprised by the things that sell well that I don't expect to sell well, like what we talked about, the Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that's
That's
number
super
5
weird.
best-selling vehicle in the country.
And talk about a car where you can get 1 trillion of them for whatever you want.
Right. But I mean, things that don't sell well. I mean, I'll go to a recently deceased example, the Chevy SS.
Yeah.
Didn't sell well. Great car, didn't sell well.
And again, no marketing.
Right.
And you had to special order it.
Right. Especially if you wanted a 6-speed.
So
A couple of dealers allocated them, but not many.
yeah, and that's why it doesn't sell well. So I guess my next question is this one was actually posed to me the other day at work by a customer of mine. Had a Volkswagen Tiguan.
Oh, I hate Tiguan's.
I do too, but they had a reason for it. It was a manual 4-wheel drive,
Okay.
which is actually pretty rare. Was
it that Sport Pack that had like the 19-inch wheels?
No, actually, it might not. It might have just been a front wheel drive, but it was a manual Tiguan.
Okay.
And the reason they needed that is they needed something that had higher ground clearance for when they go out to the cabin and stuff, which is odd to me. But okay. You need that. What are some? Can you name manual SUVs and CUVs? Preferably come all-wheel drive. The only ones I can name are the Subaru,
Crosstrek.
the Crosstrek, and the Forester. You can get manual.
Yep.
But I mean,
CX-5, but only
CX-5,
front-wheel drive.
Front-wheel drive only. Tiguan, I'm pretty sure front-wheel drive only. Why don't you double-check that, actually?
Yeah. You at one point could obviously get a 4Motion.
I'm not sure if you still can, because I
Oh, wait,
honestly,
no, not in the new one.
Yeah, not in the new
Not
one.
in the
yeah.
big one. They
Yeah,
don't
so
even offer a manual anymore.
Well, yeah, okay, so this guy, he got a manual Tiguan. So he got hammered with 2OT stuff. So yeah,
Weird.
Yeah,
the TSI is so reliable.
I know, right? And his thing was, he goes, I honestly would not drive this car, but I want a manual transmission and I need a SUV.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm like, that's a really tough bet. Like, I looked at his trim level. I'm like, well, you got a super base model trim level. Have you tried a Subaru?
Right.
Because you have all the same crap. It's actually going to work on it. But
And
yeah,
are we doing exclusively small CUVs?
no, like any of them.
Porsche Cayenne.
Okay, so
could still get that
Cayenne,
with
if you
a
want, if you
6-speed.
want like if you want to like buy a house, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're not cheap.
But I mean, it still exists though.
Yeah, but and,
And
it's,
then
it's
and
very
and
nice.
the CX-9 too as well.
You can get a
which-
manual CX-9.
Well, oh no, sorry, it's CX-5. I'm sorry.
Yeah, CX-5.
CX-9 you can't, but the
trying to
CX-9
think.
is still really
There's
good.
got to be something else sold with a stick. Maybe not though.
Maybe like a base model like Ford Escape.
No. Well, shoot, you might be right. We
I
probably
think-
should have done some research.
Well,
But
I just
I-
I dropped this on it because
I recently looked at an article that was still telling me what all the manual things for sale in the U.S. were, and I looked through it and I didn't see anything like that.
Yeah, it's nothing exciting. It's just a bunch of weird stuff. But yeah, I think another thing, Mitsubishi, if they made a manual 4-wheel drive Eclipse Cross, I think that would also help them a lot.
They don't sell one?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought they did.
I think
front-wheel drive.
you get a front wheel drive manual maybe,
Yeah, you can.
and I think you can also get a manual HRV.
Oh, you can still get a 500L and a 500X.
Okay, so Fiat's.
Oh, Jeep Renegade. All-wheel drive manual.
Yep, in the Jeep Renegade. So
Yep.
actually, I think of all the cars on this list, I'd probably take
I take a Renegade.
I'd take one of the Subaru products or the Renegade, and I think I would actually go.
Renegade's more reliable.
I'd say not that because that's just. I mean, it might be, but
It has the Fiat 1.4T in it.
I'm thinking about other things like electrical stuff.
Oh,
But no, I would take the Renegade over the Subaru product because Subaru's turning into like a BMW where they're turning into kind of like just like a car company,
right.
and I don't want them to do that. And I feel like if they're not going to be supportive of enthusiasts, they don't really deserve my money.
Right. That's true.
So and that's those are very strong words because you know how I love Subaru.
Yes,
so.
I do. I mean, I am obviously, as everyone knows, a little different. When it
Yeah,
comes
you
to
are a
my
little bit
opinion of
different, yeah.
Subaru. If they had good engines, they would be really great cars because like everything around the engine is actually pretty good these days.
No, I just know the only thing I don't like about Subarus is I think that there are an abundance of. They're very capable of making a horrifically ugly vehicle.
You know what? I'm gonna put the Mini Clubman on there because that thing is so huge. It's a CUV. Because that's a BMW X1.
That is. I mean, it literally
And
has
it's
that.
available in 4-wheel drive. And a
The
manual.
X1 literally has a Mini Cooper shift knob. So yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
it's so terrible. So bad. All right, I think that's it. I just paged through all the other 2018 manual cars for sale in the United States, and I think we covered them.
Okay.
All right.
Well, let's get into some Patreon topics then.
Sounds good. Yeah, we're going to do a couple today just because we've been so busy with guests the last couple episodes.
They're
So,
kind of beginning to pile up. So
yeah, we got to touch on these. First one. All right. When you are rubbernecking or staring at someone else's car, are you doing it when you're driving or when you're parked?
I do it all the time.
Okay. I mean, I generally will do it only when I'm driving.
I'll do it all the time.
I'll beeline for a car at a car show if I'm super into it, and so will you. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen you like, that's a Callaway Aero body, just like turn a violent different direction right after talking to somebody.
Or that time Jana ran across Pazzaluna to go see a 2CV.
Yes, I do remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Well, like we should probably follow Jana because something is up.
I'd never seen her run in heels like that. It was like,
I'm just happy that she didn't twist her ankle or something.
no, she was like full on sprint. Like she is like vaulting over Murcielagos and stuff and just like full on like running.
Yeah. No, she had to walk past a lot of very expensive Italian cars to get
yeah.
to Michael's Citroen, and we took it for a ride. That was great.
Yeah, it was a great car. She was not wrong.
Part B of this thing is specifically car shows. So I think the first one was like when you're out in the wild, not at a car show. When do you slack jaw at something that you see more? And for me, it's still when I'm driving.
Yeah, I think at a car show I kind of half expect it. Like when I'm at a car show, the only thing that really like blow my mind is if it's something that's like particularly cool.
Yeah, or quirky.
Yeah, so like when I first saw Awesome's Countach, that one I was slack-jawed, because I never seen a white interior on a 25th anniversary edition.
Yeah, that's a really lovely car.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I think when I was at JAI, I didn't get slack-jawed over the Hakoska at all.
Do you remember when we were at Wheels of Italy 2 and the lady smacked the Countach with her keys and you went off on her?
Oh, dude, I told her about her life.
Yeah, I was so proud. So proud of Ryan at that moment.
Yeah, that lady.
She was contemplating suicide
she
after.
she literally left the show.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad about that.
And he's the only one that said anything about it, but literally she was like standing next to it taking like a really poopy Snapchat picture.
Yeah.
And her like key satchel and clutch like hit the
I
paint.
ruined her Snapchat video too.
Good.
Yeah. And the owner didn't even say anything. He just looked
He
at
looked just like extremely displeased, but didn't say a
her.
word.
Yeah, exactly. So
Wow, sorry, that was a tangent.
but no, anyway, so when I was at JI,
Yeah.
I think when I'm at a car show, it's not really the coolest car that excites me because I expect to see that, but it's the most interesting car
Sure.
that excites me. So what I was saying, I did not even blink at the Hakosuka because I expected that to be there.
Right.
I did go look at it because I'd
course.
never seen an actual Hakosuka GTR. I've seen every Hakosuka GTX, but not a GTR.
I just realized that we talk about such obscure things most
I know,
of the
right?
time that nobody has any idea what it is.
Well, that's why I started the blog and I occasionally update it. I got a fun blog story after this. 'Cause
Okay.
I totally messed it up.
I suppose now that we have a video version, we could work a little harder on getting like images up, but I'm pretty
But
lazy.
anyway, why don't you bring up a picture of a Hakosuka GTR? Because I feel
Ryan,
like
I don't even know how to spell that.
Hakosuka. It's entirely phonetic.
One more time.
Hakosuka.
GTR.
Yeah.
All right, let me pop open the stream.
Yeah,
here.
it's like the GTR, the C10
oh,
GTR.
like the first GTR.
Yeah.
Okay.
The-
Fine.
It's called a Hakosuka,
I-
box Skyline.
Yeah, great, but I had no idea.
Oh, yeah, that's what its name is.
Fine.
Hakosuka if you're not cultured.
I am not cultured, so we'll go Hakosuka.
Okay. Anyway, so there was one of those there in a super rare color at
Okay.
JAI, and I couldn't be bothered to really care about it that much. But there's two cars that really got me excited, and one was a Mazda R360,
Okay.
which is Mazda's first car, also their first sports car, also the first four-stroke micro car.
Okay. Yeah, I
So-
suppose those were largely two-stroke, weren't
Yeah, they were, and this one's actually really cool. It's like a manual rear-engine three-seater. Like, it's really cool. But the one that really got me excited is I walked past an AutoZam to look at this. You know
Yeah.
how much I love the AutoZam.
they? Especially if they're not clapped out.
Was a Isuzu Bellet GTR.
All right, I'm going to have to Google all
Yeah.
these.
Yeah, look up the Isuzu Bellet because that's Bellett, and then GTR.
Everyone uses GTR on their Japanese cars.
Yeah, well, they had a 1600 GT, but this is a racing homologation model.
I think I should just stick on Wikipedia because you can actually pull up the photos full size.
That's just the normal one though. That's not the GTR.
Fine, let me scroll.
You might be able
Sure
to find
they
the
have.
GTR. Yeah, that orange one right there. It's like the exact car.
Wow, the one that says GTR on top of it?
But yeah, anyway, that one really got me excited because I think that might be one of the best looking Japanese cars in the 1960s.
I don't know. I see that, and then I look at a 2000 GT. I'm like, this is dumb.
Well, as I said, might be one of the, not the best, because yeah, the 2000 GT is like right up there. But I mean, this competed with the Alpha Giulias and stuff like that.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I would still take a
in
Giulia over
like
that, but-
66, 65, 66, 67. That's a pretty cool car, and I think I just think it's a very, very, very pretty car, and it came from a Isuzu. Like, you don't think if you saw that.
Yeah,
You're
it
like-
looks like a Toyota to me.
Well, I mean, if you saw it, you're like, oh, that's either like one of the Toyotas that were made to look like an Italian car, or
Yep.
it's like a Lancia or something.
But no matter which way it goes, very obscure.
And the thing is, you're not going to look at that and go, oh, that's an Isuzu.
Right.
Like,
oh,
I
God,
would.
no.
I will,
It's
but
not a
nobody
cab
else.
over truck based on a GM platform.
Yeah,
basically.
no, yeah, exactly. You're not going to be. You'll be utterly flummoxed when you find out that Isuzu actually made some really cool stuff.
Oh, Hari's watching our Twitch stream.
Hello there.
Hi, John.
Hello there, industrious little fellow.
We are still on in Richfield.
Oh, that's good.
And then, okay, let's move on to
Currently.
part C. When you're out and about and let's assume you're in something interesting and you see something else, not necessarily the same make and model, but for the sake of argument, let's say it is. Do you try to signal that person? Like, do you throw your hand out the window and thumbs up? Do you give them the peace sign, or do you just ignore it and just like see if they say
It
something?
kind of depends on the car.
Yeah. Okay. Let's try a more specific example. Let's say you're in your Cressida
Yeah. Oh, the Cressida.
and you see another Cressida.
Yeah, that's the thing with Cressidas. I go, that's a very cool car, and then I make a point to never actually talk to that person because most people I've met with a Cressida,
Are horrible.
they're almost exclusively insufferable pricks.
Wow, you fit right in the owners group.
Yeah, exactly. I probably fall deeply within that category, but it's like you get people that are worse than like 240 Drift Bros.
Okay.
because they are all drift bros, but they're like, God, what do you mean? You don't know this, like, exactly how to put in a coilover in a Cressida? Like, how do you put a coilover in a Cressida?
Did you search the forum, bro?
Yeah, like, dude, the forum for Cressidas literally got shut down 5 years ago.
Most of it was based in, like, magazines, probably.
Yeah, exactly. And, well, here, it's like, you know, when I was, like, first getting into them, it's like, the first thing I ever did was I posted my Cressida on a Cressida page. I'm like, hey, this got this awesome deal on a Cressida, no rust, and it's got, 5 digits of miles on it, and they're like, you overpaid, you're a fucking loser, and I hate you. And I'm like,
Wow.
jeez, all
That's
right.
like when I joined the Facebook group Manual Elitist Jerks, and I posted about, like, I don't know, probably the E30 M3.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, just kit car. I'm just like, what?
Yeah,
And,
it's just like,
now that I've been in there for a while, it's fine. Like, they've had my 850 on, like, the cover photo of the page, and, like, I rip on people too, but, like, I'm just like, wow, trial by fire.
yeah, no, it's like, it's bad. Like, yeah, Cresta people, I do not talk to them unless I absolutely have to.
Yeah,
because
that'd almost be a better Patreon topic. Like, what car, make and model, has, like, the worst community behind it?
Crestas have to be up there.
Teslas
are definitely number one.
Oh my goodness, do I not want to talk to any Tesla owners?
And the Cressida's really up there, and yeah, Teslas are just awful.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. They're
people.
such great cars, but like most of the owners own them for the wrong reasons, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's the same thing with Cressidas. Everybody, owns
Right.
them to crash them into a wall. I want it because I wanted a cheap Supra. That's exactly what I wanted it for. And I would say probably conversely, the best community.
Yeah.
My favorite car community of any community I've ever been in, Honda, Toyota, anything.
Mm-hmm.
Classic Subarus.
I could see that. I feel like everyone's really low key in that group.
But some people are pretty high key, but
Okay.
they're all very fun loving, and they're always willing to help everybody else out.
And everyone has had so many issues that
They
they've
all-
sorted
yeah.
through. They all know the answer, and they're willing to give
Exactly.
it to you.
It's just like that. It's kind of like that. It would be like what I imagine the Alfa Romeo community is like, but without rich pricks.
Oh man, you'd have to have a message board for the Alpha community. No one would ever be able to get to the same place.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, my engine hasn't started. Going through a connecting rod.
Yeah, it's
My
exactly.
wheel bearings run packed up.
That's what it's like. It's one of those things where it's like when I was, before I decided to go carburetor, I was trying to keep the turbo on my Subaru. I would work kind of exclusively in the middle of the night because everybody that can actually communicate with me is from Australia.
Okay.
So so I'm like, all right, I'll just work on this at like 11 o'clock at night, and then everybody will be awake, and I'll be able to get my question asked in like 2 hours. Because if I worked on it at noon,
Yeah.
I wouldn't get an answer till 9 p.m.
I've dealt with people for like rare E30 parts, and like trying to pay them or like get photos back and forth is like it's a 2-day process. 'Cause you
It
gotta
really
wait
is.
for
Yeah,
the other person to
everything
fall
is
asleep.
impossible. There's like 2 guys in the like United States, and they're not people.
Oh goodness, no.
I've only met one person in the classic Subaru community that was an actual prick.
So it sounds like the Cresta community is the one that you would intentionally make an effort to not look or care.
Yes.
And the Subaru one would be the one you would actually go out of your way.
Subaru people, well, that's the thing is I would look, but I'd make it very nonchalant that because like maybe if they catch me lucky, I'll give them a thumbs up, or
Okay.
I'll look at who's driving it. If it's like somebody,
There's various levels of like acknowledgement too.
And
I mean, do you look?
So-
like obviously look.
this is the thing. It's only Cressidas because Toyota people are great. Classic Toyotas. That's
Okay.
what I should say. Because every time I've ever gone to a classic Toyota meet, everybody's super nice. But it's like,
FJ owners are pretty nice.
yeah, but like exclusively Cresta owners are just pricks. And
Are third gen Supra owners bad or no?
third gen Supra, no. Fourth gen can be.
Oh yeah.
Fourth gen, that's kind of nothing to write home about. They're not the best, not the worst.
More than you can afford, pal.
The
Fourth
fourth
gen V160.
what I've noticed a lot is a lot of fourth gen owners don't talk to other Toyota owners. It's like
Interesting.
it's like they look down on them or something.
Oh.
Which I mean, it's a
Yeah,
fair
I
assessment.
get that. I mean, it's a lot more expensive than
Well, it's like if
Most
it's
Toyotas.
literally like if Ford GT40 owners went to like a Ford Focus meet. I get why they wouldn't do that.
right.
It's-
That might be a bit of a
It's a different
sticky.
it's a different group of people.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were looking at somebody.
I
behind me.
wasn't sure if it was gonna rain or something. Windows down in my van.
We've had This is day 2 of no rain. Every other day this entire month it has rained.
Oh, I had people that were here from Boston at my shop getting head gaskets put in their van again.
No way.
It rained the entire time. They arrived here on October 1st, and it rained literally until they picked up their van
I'm sure
day
they
before
have
yesterday.
a great vision of Minnesota now.
Oh, yeah, they're
Never coming back.
never, ever coming back.
I'm never going back to Boston, probably, so that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. So,
All right, let's go to Patreon topic
Yeah.
number 2.
This one's more
one
fun.
I
already
really
answered all
like
these.
this. Oh, these are yours in parentheses?
Yeah, I put all mine in
Okay, well,
parentheses.
I'll have answers too. I'm just going to wing it. But this one is a replace my car game. And I think this one was actually submitted by somebody who had their daily driver totaled by somebody else.
Yes.
And they're having a tough time finding what they would replace it with. And they ended up replacing it with the exact same thing they were driving. So this is going to be replacing an older model with something new. So something that you can basically buy, either new or CPO today.
Yeah.
So number one.
Within the last 5 years.
Honda Element. Weird. Wonder where this came from. Especially all-wheel drive and manual. So why don't you go over your answer first, and then I'll tell you what my answer is.
The only other thing that is all-wheel drive manual that I would ever bother buying is a Subaru Subaru Forester, but this particular one, 2.5i premium manual.
So big engine, nice interior.
You get the big engine, non-turbo, because you can't get the turbo with the manual on the Forester. You get the nice, long, giant sunroof. You get the heated seats, and actually slightly more headroom, because the sunroof's so wide. It's literally, it goes all the way to where the kind of like oh crap handles are on the corner of the headliner.
Okay. That's actually a pretty good answer. I didn't think about that. Mine is a Jeep Renegade.
Which is a fine car.
All-wheel drive manual. I mean, they're not quite as
I thought
spacious
about
inside
that.
as an Element.
I did
but,
think about that. Now,
but again, reliability is
my
huge.
reasoning actually is the Element, you can tune it and modify it and make it more fun, and make it look cool, or you can lower it and stuff.
Sure.
There's a lot you can do with the Element. There's a lot to do with the Forester too.
And there's a lot with a Jeep Renegade, unfortunately, because it has a Jeep brand on it, which means it's in
Well,
parts catalog.
I mean,
which
like,
means you can do anything to it.
That is true, but I mean, as far as like a Honda Element, if a manual 4-wheel drive
But
Element,
the Renegade's turbo. You can just wave a module at it for $60 and get 60 more horsepower.
and I mean, it's not any different with the Forester or the Element. I mean, you put a turbo
well,
on
the
those.
K24 is a really good engine.
Yeah, I mean, if you put a turbo on either of those,
The
that's 60
2.5
horsepower.
NA Subaru engine, you can't do that much to it.
You can turbo them.
Well, you can, but you're not gonna. That's a lot of money. Like a K24, you can add 30, 40 horsepower to it for less than $1,000.
Oh yeah, totally.
And same thing with the Renegade. The Subaru is gonna take a lot more than $1,000 to add power to it, and it's gonna get way less reliable.
That's the thing, is it's a fresh engine. I don't think so.
The beauty of this, though, I mean, I know the person who submitted this, and the car is intentionally left stock.
Yeah. Okay. So
assuming it's going to be intentionally left stock.
I would actually probably say the Renegade's a good example.
The Subaru gets a lot more appealing if you leave it stock.
I would,
but I'm still taking Renegade.
I'm gonna have to go with Subaru with my answer.
That's fine.
Shocking.
We
We
can
go
have
with our
different
we
answers.
go with
Fine.
our own answer.
BMW Z3 Big 6 2.8 or 3.0.
You can't.
No, there's nothing that fun.
I said a Fiata.
That's a really good answer.
A
That's my
Fiata, a
answer, too.
Barth. Is the only thing I could touch.
No. A Barth is too hard.
So it would have to be a normal Fiata.
You want a Lusso, probably. I mean,
Yeah.
because you want the squishier suspension, because the beauty of the non-MZ3 is the thing is so compliant and roly-poly.
Yeah.
But they're all LSD cars, the Z3s. And in order
Perfect.
to get the LSD, you need the Fiata Abarth.
Yeah.
But, okay, a Lusso with the Abarth diff.
There you go.
But
Which
Fiata
is
is the
optional,
correct answer.
and that is optional.
Yeah, you can get that, but you have to special order it.
I answered this one correctly,
The Toyota FJ Cruiser.
and my answer is an FJ Cruiser.
Just another newer one.
Nope. Just another one. Any year.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. I mean, name another FJ Cruiser.
I would replace this with a Cayenne V6 6-speed.
No.
Because that's what I'm going to replace
That's gonna be
mine with eventually.
horribly expensive to repair.
Yeah, I know, which is why I bought an FJ.
Exactly, and that's why we go with the FJ. I think the only thing I'd ever replace the FJ with is they make a 3-door version of the Land Cruiser in South America.
Okay.
And in Japan.
Yeah, okay.
Everywhere but here. That's the
Here.
only one I would ever get.
Here. Okay, next one. E39 BMW M5. So 2000 to 2003. The bee's knees car. The one I just bought one of, but it's not here yet.
I would, it'd have to be, I think, a Kia Stinger, but that one's not manual.
It's a good
so
form factor.
That's pretty close.
I'm writing mine in here real time. So Chevy SS manual, you can get them CPO still.
Or the G70 manual,
G70
which I
manual
found
I'll put in
out
there too.
recently is going to be manual. So
That's a good looking car. I would seriously consider taking a G70 manual.
Can we talk about how many Korean cars are on this and how many not Japanese cars they are?
Actually, let's go FADM3 too.
Yeah, because I
That's
mean,
still offered as a 6-speed brand new.
all those cars are not Japanese, which is kind of weird.
Right. BMW is really losing their way with non-M anyway. Okay, next car. BMW 1 Series M, the car that you can see behind Ryan in the stream right there.
Oh, a 1M.
Yeah.
Oh, oops.
You have to
I have to change my answer then.
Okay.
Because I was thinking for some reason, was thinking like a Z3 coupe or M coupe.
Oh, I gotcha. Nope.
Yeah.
My cursor answer here, an M2 CS manual.
Yeah, that's the only thing you can do.
That's a pretty equivalent car. Not limited production, not quite as special, but still really good. Next one, Chevrolet C6 Z06. That's a tough one.
The only correct answer is a C4 Corvette because the best Corvette is the cheapest Corvette.
Not the cheapest Corvette. C3s are definitely cheaper.
All right, then C3 Corvette. Best Corvette is the cheapest Corvette.
They're so bad.
Best Corvette is the cheapest Corvette. You know what else is bad? Any Corvette that's not the brand new Corvette, because every time they make one, it's such a quantum leap that it just destroys the value of the previous generation until it becomes a classic.
Okay.
I would never want one. Like other than like an old one.
C4s are just so good. I like your answer more before you edited it. Mine's gonna be Mustang GT350. Not the R, but I think you can get a used one for. It's too expensive, but I like it.
Yeah.
Subaru Legacy GT Wagon, the 05. So pre-reflectors in the bumper, but still really attractive looking.
Honestly, this one was really hard. I couldn't answer this because it's the gentleman's STI.
And you could get them with a manual.
Yeah.
Trying to think of any wagon we could still buy with a manual here. I don't think there is one.
Well, I mean, there's some stupid Volkswagens, but they're that stupid Volkswagens.
Can you get an all-road with a manual anymore? No, you can't.
No, you
Audi
can't.
ditched them all, but
Yeah,
could you in the last couple of years?
I think you might have, but
Could you get those with a 30T or no?
I don't think with a manual.
You
would say
what?
Wait, 2006.
No, let's say it has to be CPO.
All right, I would say 2006 or so. S4 manual wagon.
Okay.
It's just only thing I could keep up. It's such a weird car because it's like
I'm gonna take. Oh, sorry. Please finish.
It's one of those weird cars where you can't really get that exact same thing, and it was such a weird product because it was a upscale Subaru based off a WRX, and it wasn't terribly expensive. It was a mid-sized sedan that was all-wheel drive manual turbo. Like it was a perfect car. It was everything that everybody in the world would have wanted at that point in time.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely it's a period in time car more than it is something that's timeless. So that makes some sense.
I would say it's actually kind of timeless nowadays.
More so than it was when it was new.
You know, I think
Which lends some credence to your claim.
the only thing I could say right now that would hold up to it, with the thought of it being a mid-sized sedan that's under the radar and not bad and not terribly expensive,
but not a sedan. This is a wagon.
Oh, good point. I would have to say a Outback 3.6R Touring.
Auto though.
I mean, I have to. There's nothing else.
Well, I'm going to go with a car that was made within the last couple of years that you could still get CPO. The F30 328i X-Drive wagon with the 6-speed.
I guess, yeah.
It's all-wheel drive, which kind of sucks. The engine's boring, and it's a corporate German 2-liter, so it's going to explode.
And that's why I said
well.
the 3.6R, because the 3.6R is very...
Is that a CVT, or is it a real automatic?
It's CVT, but it's a bulletproof, reliable engine.
Yeah, but this has a bulletproof, reliable transmission and an engine that you have to...
Also, knowing Subaru, they made...
Let's skip this. This one's boring.
Well, no. They made a manual Outback.
Yeah.
I know that their manual 4-cylinder transmissions bolt directly into the 6 cylinders because they're too lazy to actually design a totally different engine.
The backside of the case is completely the same.
Yeah. It literally is the same bell housing.
Yep.
So I would say one of those, and then when the CVT finally takes a crap, put a manual in it.
I mean, that's not really the spirit of the answer, but I accept.
For this particular question, you have to. Anyway,
okay.
Next.
Fiat 500 or 500e?
500 or Barth.
Okay, I'm going to go CPO, Fiesta ST. No, they still sell the Abarth. Screw that. I'm going to go 500 Abarth, too. That's a good answer. Yep.
Because screw Ford for getting rid of that great
Mini
car.
Cooper R53, so first-gen new style Mini Cooper.
Again, 500 Abarth.
Yep.
It's the best one.
That is, I mean, that one, since it's not an S, you could maybe say a nice Mirage.
Yeah.
But I think the 500 Abarth's a better car, and they're so cheap.
There's one more I want to add.
Okay.
A Focus ST.
Why the Fiesta ST is a better car?
Focus ST. What would you replace that with?
Oh, what would I? Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
GTI.
I would say Civic Type R.
That's on a different, completely price echelon, but that's a better answer. Yeah.
Actually, I mean, when they were new, they weren't too far apart. A base model Type R versus a fully spec'd out Focus ST were about the same. Because the Focus ST, also talk about a car that got killed.
They're like $9,000.
The
difference.
Focus ST got Corvetted to death because the Focus ST was a very good car, but then they released the Fiesta ST, which is the same thing but smaller, and then they released the Focus RS. So they just gave it the Corvette.
Yeah, that car got bookended super hard.
Yeah,
it's like the E21 BMW 3 Series. It's
Yeah.
like it's a good thing on its own, but like so much not as good as the two
Yeah.
things on either side of it.
That's exactly what that is.
All right, next one. Ford Bronco, the removable top 60s or the 80s 90s OJ one.
Okay, so Toyota 4Runner. And I'm going to say
Okay. Not a manual.
no, I never said the year. Because you
Has
said
to be pretty recent.
then you can't compare it to something from the 60s.
The point is to replace an old car if it got destroyed with something new.
You can get a base model 4Runner with a manual, I'm
You
pretty
can't.
sure. All right, a manual.
Not since the 3rd gen. They didn't even offer it in the 4th gen. You can get it in the
I'll
Tacoma
I'll
still.
get a manual Taco.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good one.
Yep.
A manual Taco, modified to look like a trophy truck. You'll have all the fun.
Yeah, I'm just going to get a brand new Taco and bring it to Icon since money's not a thing. Like, make this into a
Clearly.
4Runner.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, that's fair. Suzuki Samurai or Daihatsu Rocky?
Well, you didn't say Daihatsu Rocky.
It's the same thing.
No, they're totally different platforms.
Suzuki Samurai then.
Okay. I'm going to have to say Suzuki Jimny,
Of course you would.
but that's not available in America, so I'm going to have to say the Crosstrek because that's available in America.
Going Jeep Renegade manual.
Now, my reasoning for this is why I'm saying this. The Crosstrek is a native four-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive, I should say.
Symmetrical.
Symmetrical, but I mean,
R.
well, the thing is, it doesn't drop into two-wheel drive.
Right.
So that's why I said the Crosstrek. The Crosstrek is also, that's a proven four-wheel drive system or all-wheel
work.
drive system. It's been proven to be very robust and not break for no reason at all.
Yeah. You see a lot of 300,000 mile
Subarus,
Subarus.
yeah.
The all-wheel drive system is not a problem.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I said that would be a good replacement for a Samurai because most people get the Samurai to take it off-road. I think the Crosstrek would be a good example of that.
But the Renegade Trailhawk, like they actually like took these things out. They're like, this is ridiculous that they have this label on here, and they're extremely capable off-road.
And well, that's the thing is I want to. I don't know that for 30 years from now.
Right. Well,
How-
neither one
how
of them is a
reliable they're
transfer
gonna be.
case, so it's got to be pretty good. I mean, those 500 Abarth engines have been out for 10 years now.
Yeah, but I'm thinking more about the all-wheel drive system
Oh, it doesn't matter.
because it's a
You're going to
totally
go through CV shafts, but it's not going to break.
I guess.
a
I mean,
modern
that's the thing is the Subarus don't really.
It's
when
got
they're
the same
off-roading.
type of thing as Honda's real time. I mean,
Okay.
it's pretty reliable. Boring, yes, not full time, but.
All right, well,
good still.
let's push through.
All right, Suzuki Kazashi. Oh,
What would you replace that with? You know what? Another Kazashi.
I would get Genesis G70.
I would only get a Suzuki Kazashi. I would
If we bought a MotorCult car someday, it would need to be a Kazashi.
the thing is I have not owned a Suzuki yet because
Such a cool car.
my reasoning is
Janish by Kazashi.
I will never buy another brand, and that's gonna be a problem because it's like when I vowed to never own a car made like after the day I was born. And for a long time that was feasible up until the last few years, and then I noticed that the lifespan of my vehicles I was owning went from about 5 years of me owning it to about like 1 to 6 months. And it's because they're either getting crazy expensive or really crappy. And of course, before I got my van, I was like in my early to mid 20s. I didn't have money for crazy expensive, so I got really crappy. So that's what I got.
That's fair.
But no, and that's the problem is I'm gonna run into that same issue with Suzuki. Is I will just
Yeah.
own an abundance of really cool, weird Suzukis.
I wonder what a Kazashi manual runs right now.
They're like $10,000 for
Really?
Yeah, they hold their value like crap because they got it perfect. It's got a great name. It's a beautiful car. I want a Kazashi.
I'm going on Auto Trader right now, but the next one is Mercedes 300 TD. So it doesn't specify if it's a 123 or 124.
So, you said, 300 TD. So, and this is before I knew it had to be within CPO territory. So I said a 123 300 TD because it's just a great car.
Well, in the interest of trying to stay in the family, I picked a diesel F31 wagon BMW. They're only automatic, unfortunately.
I think what you would get from a 300 TD is like pretty good fuel economy, something that's reliable, super, 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 super reliable, and not that fun to drive.
Yeah.
I would say a 4-cylinder Subaru Outback.
The fucking Subarus. Okay.
They fit a lot of categories.
They are not 10 grand.
Oh, has they gone down?
They're like easily in the 5s.
Oh, that's attainable now.
I'm trying to refine this search here.
I might be getting rid of my van once I'm done with this warranty. Then
I gotta. Yeah. Okay. That's local too.
All right. I found out that I'm like super right side up in my van.
Nice.
Like I'm like almost $3,000 right side up. So.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I've got I can easily get a Kazashi and just love my life. Actually, I also like the SX4. That's another.
I do too. That's a quirky little car.
Yeah,
it's not quite new enough for like our comparison here, but
actually, if we had, I was really hoping when I saw this that the Honda Wagavan would be on here because that'd be my only answer. Would be the SX4 wagon, because that would be a good replacement for a Wagavan.
Yeah.
So
sorry, I'm searching manual right now, so if I'm a little less responsive, that's
it's fine. What is Why don't you read the next one?
Okay.
Real quick.
Next one is a Maserati. Oh, geez, a Maserati coupe. So the early 2000s.
Now read what my answer said, word for word. What I wrote in the notes.
Mitsubishi Mirage. It has about as much clout as a car show.
Like who cares? Nobody likes that car.
What about the guy that comes to all the local car shows and his license plate is does 185?
Great.
And it totally doesn't.
That's super cool. You have your cool speedometer. I have a Mitsubishi Mirage. Who cares?
The cheapest Kazashi manual is $7,995 asking.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean.
Yeah, okay.
They're like getting close to that 10 grand.
What
mark.
I would replace this car with, Jaguar F-Type 6-cylinder supercharged manual.
I'm still going at the Mirage because nobody cares about that car.
I know, but I want an F-Type manual. So
all right, cool. I want a Mirage.
Honda S2000.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go with the Fiat Abarth.
Yep, no contest.
I also would be tempted to say the newest Miata because the newest Miata is getting really close.
Bump.
Yeah, with the power bump, it's getting close to the specs.
It's the same car. Let's just go
But
ND Fiat Abarth.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the issue with this is that the S2000 revved like crazy high. That was the last super high revving.
Yeah, but have you ever driven a K24 swapped S2000?
They're way better.
You
but
don't miss the revs. 7800 is still pretty good.
I don't really care that much about power though. That's my thing. You
an
know that about
S2000
me.
with torque is so much fun.
When I had unlimited resources to build whatever I wanted at MA Performance, I built a 9,000 RPM D series. Because I wanted a super high revving car. All I cared about was I wanted to rev super high.
It's much more in the
and be fun, to drive.
It's like the old the B series spoon thing
Yeah.
from the 90s. Like we made it do 11,000 RPM. Like great.
And made 180 horsepower out of a 1.8 liter. That's cool. I will still take that over a K24 because I like that. I like the dramatic effect of that. I really like that a lot. I also like the noise it makes.
Yeah, no, I like high revving engines. I do, but like, I also really like usable power.
Not that worried.
Next, Toyota Previa.
Mazda 5.
Yeah, that's the only one with a manual. So.
Yep. Well, not only that, the Mazda 5 is a legitimately very good van.
Yeah, it's not rear wheel drive.
No, it's not. Nor is it mid-engine.
True.
But I will tell you, I am so excited that my warranty is up in 5,000 miles. I'm already being to stockpile parts.
Why, if you have a warranty, why is your transmission still blown up?
Because it's taking forever. It's caught in bureaucracy.
Fun.
Yeah, it's a joy.
Cool.
So
sounds like a really useful warranty. All right, next, Mazda NA Miata MX-5.
Indy Miata.
Yeah, I would take
Also,
an RF just to be a little quirky.
I made a point to not have every answer be a Miata or a Mazda
So far,
product.
it's all Subaru, Miata, or Fiata, like pretty much across the board, or Renegade on my
or
part.
Mirage.
Oh man, this next one makes me Sad. BMW E90 rear-wheel drive manual wagon. So, Mr. Wags. You should just kill yourself, basically, if that gets totaled.
1980 Toyota Corona wagon with manual
No,
transmission.
Ryan, you
Only
can't
answer.
go old.
Yep. No, I have to. It doesn't exist.
No, you got to pick something that's not a wagon these days. I would take okay. They're still allocating them, but they're not making them anymore. The outgoing F30 3 Series sedan, the 340i M Sport ZHP.
Okay.
They
So
made-
when it's the M3 without the M3 stuff. on
Right.
it.
It's the final year of the final manual 3 Series with the performance package, and it's not an M3. That's what I would replace it with. And I'm only going to say this because I've got a friend that's seriously trying to find a Mr. Wags right now, and that's one of his leading contenders is that brand new sitting on the dealer.
Could you say, does the IS250 come with manual? When did they last put a manual on that?
They did. It was rear-wheel drive 2.5 only, and it was only the first 2 years.
I would say that.
That's just worse than an E90, though.
Well, anything's gonna be worse.
It's also
It's gonna be really
also
old or
older
worse.
than this car.
So all right, well that's the issue though. Is like, I don't know. It's like saying, hey,
You can't replace this car. That's why it's worth
no,
so much.
it is. It's like saying, hey, I want a car that weighs 5,000 pounds and goes, it has 400 horsepower, goes 180 miles an hour, and isn't a Duesenberg SSJ.
You want a
I
Canyonero.
don't know. Like, I don't know what you want. Then you need a Duesenberg.
You
like,
should
go
just
buy
find a
yourself
time machine.
Go
or,
buy a Duesenberg. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
pretty much. So
Like,
sometimes there's a car of a time, and that's literally the only answer to a question. So that is that. You cannot replace that car.
yeah, no, it's
And
just,
now I'm depressed because now I'm thinking about what happened if Mr. Wags just went away. So why don't you
So-
take the next topic?
I will take the next topic, and we're getting entirely off of that. I want to talk about NASCAR.
What the? What?
All right, so how NASCAR's been trying to reinvent themselves for years, right?
Oh, it's just like
'Cause-
Harley Davidson.
Yeah, nobody cares about them anymore.
Wow, no relevance. Weird.
So,
Although I did enjoy our, other than the extremely cold nature, that Elko night
yeah,
was
so
fun.
this is super, just the most bizarre thing I've ever heard. In a way to attempt to get more viewers, they're setting a horsepower limit to 550 horsepower
Okay.
to make the cars make the pack like bigger, so you don't have the privateer cars way off in the boonies.
Sure.
And it's only doing that for some of its races, and it's increasing the downforce for some of the tracks for faster cornering or something.
Okay.
This is to improve the actual racing itself, tighten up the track for better entertainment. This isn't the issue, though. At NASCAR, I feel like they're trying to answer these questions by reading tea leaves instead of actually asking like a millennial.
They're modifying the rules instead of getting rid of them and rewriting them.
I don't think it needs to be rewritten. I think if the simplest way to make NASCAR better is nobody likes NASCAR because it's just like a bunch of random ad cars that all look the exact same that nobody can relate to, with a stupid V8 that nobody can buy, like 1970s technology with a weird looking gross body. Like nobody cares about that.
Mm-hmm.
I think for NASCAR, what they should do, go back factory body work on all their cars so the cars are more relatable.
So get a factory body in white.
Yep, you have to have a body in white. You have if you're gonna have something where it's gonna be slipperier or more aerodynamic, you have to make a homologation model.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's it, and that's what they did in the '80s when
Yep.
NASCAR was in its prime.
Mm-hmm.
And you would get cars like, you get the Monte Carlo SS Aero Coupes, which people know about.
Yeah, we saw that a
Yeah.
couple episodes ago.
And then like the Pontiac Grand Prix 2+2s, which we saw a couple
So
episodes ago.
ugly. Yeah.
But also like the W body Buick Park Avenue. They made one. They made one that was like a Park Avenue at Grand National or something where they
Really?
made a two-door Park
That's super
Avenue
gross.
that actually had just smoothed out bodywork, so it is more aerodynamic. I think things like that. It doesn't. You should be able to change the drivetrain from front-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive.
Sure.
Because the Chevy Beretta was another one of those examples.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the other rule you should have is, the engine that is in the car
Yeah.
has to be a factory available engine in something.
So what does that mean?
So if you have, right now, like the TRD V8s
The
that they put in the
5.7s?
Camry, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a push-rod V8.
4-cam.
Is that 4-cam? No, the one in NASCAR.
Oh, well, that's not a Toyota engine.
That is technically.
Well,
it's a-
Toyota makes it. It is
but
not a factory
that's the
engine.
thing.
It's a completely bespoke engine.
Nobody cares
For
about
NASCAR.
that. I don't care about that. If you're going to have a car,
The
you
street engine's a 4-cam variable valve
I know.
timing.
Yeah. It's totally different in
Way
every
better.
way. It's better in every way. It's a totally different thing. It's stupid. I think for you to have a car in NASCAR, you have to make that engine for available to the public in some form.
Okay.
So
So you're saying they don't necessarily have to put the 4-cam 5.7 in their NASCAR, but
No.
they have to.
make the NASCAR
Sell at a
engine
parts department.
You have to have that available.
Okay.
So that pushrod Toyota V8 TRD
so
engine,
weird.
it's so stupid. But I feel like if they're going to compete in NASCAR, you should be able to buy that over the corner or over the counter. And maybe, obviously, not for
I just have
street
to
use.
imagine it's made by one of those engine builders. And
Yeah.
It's probably like a billet racing engine.
I'm sure it is. They slap a TRD logo on it.
Yeah.
And that's the
Okay.
thing is, like, I think that should be a rule. Also, horsepower limit, take that, throw out the window. 1,050 horsepower.
So throw it out the window or set it at 1,050 horsepower.
Set it to 1,050. And my reasoning is, when you hear 550 horsepower,
Are you going to allow all-wheel drive cars?
no. But when you hear 550 horsepower, you go, wow, that's almost as much as my mom's minivan.
Right?
Like, but when you hear 1,050, you're like, that's got a comma in it. That's kind of cool.
That's my eBay truck Silverado build.
Like, yeah, that's a really cool kind of thing. When you hear that fourth digit, that's what actually gets people
What's the limit
excited.
right now? Is it 550?
I think it's like 850 is
Oh my
like
goodness.
the maximum. Like, and that's the thing is they're gonna drop it way down to 550.
Right, which I mean might make racing more interesting to watch, but
But I mean, that's the thing is, I think when you hear, yeah, it's 1,000 horsepower.
do you know when F1 was the best? When they still had manuals, no downforce, and 1,600 horsepower.
And that's the thing is
Yeah.
they're adding a ton of horsepower
And
or,
downforce.
no, they're cutting horsepower, adding downforce.
right. They're
Get
making
rid of
it,
that.
They're making it slower.
Yeah, so you're making it worse to watch. But I think if you made if you gave him less downforce, if you gave it more
I don't
horsepower,
know about less, because you are almost, adding 30% more power.
yeah. But well, I mean, that's the thing is you get things that are more exciting.
Are you still going to keep the Jericho 4-speed crash boxes?
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I like that. It has to be a manual because well, that's the thing. That's why I have like a soft spot for NASCAR. Is they have rules. You have to have a maximum of a 15-inch wheel or something. It's like 15 or 16.
Yeah, which
like,
the brakes are ridiculous on those.
yeah,
things.
they're like super thick, and you have to have a 4-speed manual transmission. You have to have you cannot have a sway bar. You have to have limiting ropes, which are now cables, but still, like you have to have this like weird technology. I think that I really like that. That gets me really excited about it. But that's the thing is like I get why NASCAR is failing because not everybody's a nerd like that.
Well, you're right. I mean, they should be, but they're
Cause
not.
yeah, and well, they really should be, but that's the thing is they're not. I think if you're 1,000 horsepower and whoa, that actually looks like a Camry, and then I can buy that engine, like that's a Toyota part number, that's really cool, and I can buy that. Like those things will really help people get more invested in NASCAR because NASCAR's whole appeal is these were stock cars, these were heavily modified stock cars going on a racetrack, and right now they're not. Right now, they're just a billboard on a racetrack, and nobody.
Right. That's just stickers on the same exact body.
Yeah, like you don't want to go look at ads on YouTube all day. Why would you watch NASCAR racing? Because I mean,
Right.
does that Camry? Have you ever seen a 2-door Camry in
No.
your life? No.
And
Have
I
you
prefer 4 doors too.
have you ever seen a? Well, actually, I was say the Ford does.
2-door Fusion?
Yeah, a 2-door Fusion.
That doesn't exist either.
Have you ever seen a Camry that has a rear end that looks like a 2001 Chevy Monte Carlo?
No.
No,
No, I
neither have
haven't.
I. That's-
Interesting.
That's
Weird.
the issue.
Preposterous.
So NASCAR, listen to my rules. Nobody cares about 550 horsepower on your whatever body. So
I really like the idea of going back to a factory body in white and just like putting the integral cage in that, and you have to maintain the same number of doors and all that kind of stuff. You
yeah,
don't
I
have to
think
have them
that also be another thing is you have to have a factory number of doors. It has to originally have a functional door. That would be one of my other rules is you have to have a functional door that you can weld shut.
but you don't have to.
You don't have to, but it has to have when the car comes in
Yeah.
to the shop to be modified, that door needs to be functional. You still need to have the seam. So
I think that's a good idea.
yeah, I think that'd be good because you have to make it more relatable. So anyway, that's my rant on NASCAR.
Fair enough. I still don't care, even if that was all like that, but
I would
it would make it better.
I would probably watch a couple of races.
I mean,
maybe.
the NASCAR stuff that we were watching, it was all like turbo 350s and 305s. So
Yeah, well, that was fun to watch.
yeah, the glowing brake rotor was my favorite part.
Yes.
So
That was pretty cool.
well, before we go, I just want to talk about one more thing. I follow a couple of the local junkyards on Facebook just to kind of keep an eye on what the BMWs are that come and go.
Yeah.
But recently, I've been noticing they've been getting a lot more like modern cars in.
Yeah.
Like I was just like wonder what's going on with that. Why is it there? It's like they had like a couple of GM Lambdas, like the big 3-row crossovers. Like those things are less than 10 years old. And, like it wasn't crashed or anything. I'm like, what was so expensive?
Super expensive internal engine failure.
Yeah, it was probably a timing chains and a transmission at the same time. But I saw a couple days ago a 2009.
I got tagged in that.
I tagged you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you did. Yeah.
I saw a silver 2009 facelift Tiguan, no body damage at all, sitting on like wheels in this junkyard.
It got
It made
2OT'd.
me so happy.
They got 2OT'd.
Didn't have to ask what was wrong. I knew that the 2OT
that
failed.
engine was gone. It needed a turbocharger. It needed an intake manifold to decarb, a timing chain, and a rear main seal, and an oil separator, and probably a clogged oil pickup because the car overheated even the smallest amount and blew apart the jack shaft to the water pump.
Yep. And then it probably like also blew up the transmission oil cooler heat exchanger and pumped coolant into the transmission.
Perfect.
At the same time.
Yep.
So,
there you go.
bricked. Done. So on that note, Tiguan's suck. Never buy a TSI. NASCAR
don't
changed
ever
the
buy
rules. And an E90 wagon rear-wheel drive is not replaceable.
Yeah, it's an irreplaceable car. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
See you on Wednesday.